Thinking of moving to Parkhill, Ontario? Before you pack your bags, you're going to want to hear the real pros and cons. Small town charm, but is it the right fit for you? Let's break it down. So we're gonna make this a very balanced video. I'm gonna do a con first, so you don't think I'm just selling you on Parkhill, then a pro. I've got 5 of each. If you're new to the channel, this is where we profile some of the best communities to live in Southwestern Ontario and some of the best real estate on the planet. Shout out to our Prime Nation and all of our Prime referral partners across North America. People like you are calling us every single day to either relocate to our area, or if you need an agent in your market, we know some of the best. So just reach out and connect with our team. So we're starting on Parkhill Main Street, and the very first con I'm gonna say is there's not a whole lot of big box stores in Parkhill. Sure, you have your staples like your gas stations, your Timmy's, and all of those things, but when it comes to dining, you're gonna have a lot more owner-operated businesses, and that's kind of the point to moving to a small town. You're gonna go to Nico's, you're gonna get to know the staff, you're gonna go to Caddy Shack, the local ice cream shop. Not only that, if you're living in Parkhill, you need to think beyond the actual city. Parkhill is a phenomenal access point. You're only 30 minutes to London, you're 15 minutes from Grand Bend, you're a quick shot to Strathroy. So when people are looking for access to amenities, they can get that living here and still have that small town charm. Now let's flip to a pro. Super affordable real estate. So in Parkhill, you're gonna benefit from the fact that it's an emerging market, meaning much cheaper than places like Grand Bend or London, which we have neighborhood tours of as well. So if you're looking for those primary markets, they are there. But I absolutely love it for people who are looking to where the puck is going. When you invest in a market like Parkhill, 5, 10, 15 years can go by very, very quickly, and you get the benefit of a ton of investment happening in the Parkhill and surrounding region from North Middlesex. They really do have a community first focused mandate, and I think you're gonna see that in the coming years. So back to the con side, some people think internet out here can be spotty, and sure, in the past, rural communities would struggle to adapt with technology and internet speeds that you can get in larger cities, but with programs like Ontario Connect and these SWIFT programs, the government's literally pouring billions of dollars putting in infrastructure in towns like this, because guess what? The land is raw. It's actually a lot easier for them to put in fiber optics in a town like Parkhill than it would be in an already established city like London. Not to mention with solutions like Starlink out there, nevertheless, people are finding ways to adapt and you can still get your work done. Now back to the pro side of things, definitely the community vibe. Over the years, I've had so many friends that have come from Parkhill, have left Parkhill and find their way coming back many times after living life in the big city. And one thing that they miss was that fact that people here look out for each other. They kind of know who's in the community, and when you're walking down the street, people are looking at you, smiling and waving much more than you're gonna get in the large towns. Another perceived con is the lack of employment in smaller towns. Now, if you're in farming, trades, or remote work, I can guarantee you there's work for you out here, but also we're noticing more and more, it is difficult to find good employees in the smaller markets. We've seen that a ton in Lantern Shores, definitely in the Port Stanley area, and I don't really think that Parkhill in my mind qualifies as a small town anymore. Look at the infrastructure with the new fire department. If you look at what's coming in from a new development perspective, I feel like it is definitely edging on being one of those emerging markets. So a massive pro is if you're a commuter, this is a great hub. I can't stress this enough. You're 15 minutes to Grand Bend. The entire Lake Huron coastline is your playground. You're only 30 minutes to London. You're close to Strathroy. You can go over to the States in no time, meaning if you're flying internationally, you can fly out of DTW and skip all the immigration stuff that you have to deal with in Toronto. It is a haven for people that love having access points and roads, and I think they are well positioned for growth in the future because of it. And the next con also has to do with commuting, lack of public transportation. But like I said, you're moving to a small town for a reason. Also, I think as you're living here, you're gonna find a lot more people are thinking about carpooling and finding different ways to get around. One super tip though is if you are moving out here, you may want to consider an all-wheel drive or a 4x4 vehicle, because winters can be a little bit tough on these roads. One of the best things about living in Parkhill is you are so close to nature. If you like biking, cycling, camping, fishing, crown land, you have access to things like the 800-hectare conservation area that is in Parkhill. You have the rail trail, the paddle loop trail, and nearby gems like the Pinery Provincial Park and Rock Glen. it's honestly one of those things that you're gonna learn to appreciate even more and more. And if waking up every day and exploring sounds fun to you, this is definitely one of those markets that you'll wanna check out. On the con side, back to transportation, you can get some pretty crazy snowy roads here in the wintertime, but guess what? When it is snowing up here, you're actually gonna be out enjoying nature, you're gonna be snowshoeing, you may be cross-country skiing or snowmobiling, so you probably aren't even going to work anyways. If you're out here on the movie theater side, you have the Starlight Drive-In, which is literally a drive-in movie theater, an experience onto its own, but you're probably also gonna find yourself picking up hobbies like paddleboarding, surfing, doing backyard bonfires, joining sports leagues, and living a much more active lifestyle. Another on the con side, limited entertainment options. Nightlife, movie theaters aren't necessarily things you're gonna find here, but I have a feeling if you're moving out here, you are leaving those behind. Also, how many of you caught the fact that we are right close to where we actually started the video? So we reached out to our Prime Nation to find out what they thought was another pro, and they actually said it is a very family-friendly community, and I would definitely agree. A lot of the other pros that we gave you, even some of the cons, lead to the fact that you're gonna have a much more integrated, closer-knit community than sometimes you can find in the bigger cities. We see people migrating all across different markets, all across Canada, if not North America, and we understand that there's different phases in life. If you enjoy this neighborhood tour and you're curious about other markets, hit that like and subscribe button, drop any communities you want covered in here, and we will actually go out and shoot the video for you. And as always, if you want to connect with one of our Prime team members or one of our referral partners nationally, just reach out to us at the information below. We would love to see how we can help you, and we'll see you on the next one.